Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Topoco Lodge. Summer is the time for family reunions, church reunions, corporate getaways. Well, they are ready for your group at the historic Topoco Lodge. Facilities for big groups or small, all types of accommodations, and great food from the Topoco Tavern. Learn more at topoco.com. I'll be up there probably tomorrow afternoon. Topoco Lodge, topoco.com to learn more. Get your retreat, your reunion, or your corporate gathering up there. All right. Want to mention a couple things quick so we can get into discussion. First of all, Admiral Schofield announced that he will return for his senior season. Most people aren't surprised by that, but I did see where VolQuest reported that they had a couple of teams more interested in him than most of us probably thought, that he actually thought about staying in there because there were some folks that talked to him about a second-round draft pick perhaps. So good thing to have Admiral Schofield back. I think most of us would have been surprised if he weren't coming back. With him back and with the NBA draft announcement deadline passed, ESPN put up their way too early. That's what they called it, their way too early top 10 for basketball season. Tennessee number 5, but of course ESPN hates Tennessee, so this is just reverse engineering. So anyway, Tennessee 5th on the ESPN list, and to me that is too high, but it's a heck of it's good for recruiting. It's good to be out there. It's good to be seen. Now, the Vols grabbed a big commitment. He is big, 6'8", 250. DJ Burns from Rock Hill, South Carolina. He committed this week to Tennessee. I think Tennessee has thought they had him for a while. They've certainly been in on him. I'm going to mention academics because he did, and because we're about to get into another academic side. The interesting thing, when asked why Tennessee, one of the first things he said was, it's a top 25 academic school nationally. There are a lot of people out there who get tired of, why are we focusing on that top 25 national academic stuff? Let's focus on the athletics. Well, this helped you get this kid. DJ Burns, your thoughts, if it were me, let's talk about him as a player. If it were me, and I've said this on the show before, I think you need another tall guy. 6'8", 250, that's big and bulky, and that's great. I would love to see this team with another 6'10" guy out there. So if you run into issues in the NCAA tournament, someone gets a hip flexor, we got somebody else that's tall that can go in there. Your thoughts on DJ Burns filling a need, 6'8", 250?
I'd take a 6'8", 250 four-star guy who's a borderline top 100 player. I'd take him every day of the week.
I'm not saying don't take him. I'd just like to see a big guy too. But your thoughts, gentlemen?
I like for Tennessee side that you beat out South Carolina for him as well as you go up against Frank Martin's team. I also do like that you have now more depth and competition in the post. It can also challenge Derek Walker, who comes back as a sophomore, and a guy that has a chance to be better, Zach Kent as well. So it is more size, and they've needed more size over the last couple of years. And one thing Rick Barnes has also said, be better on the boards. Perhaps he can help there too.
Yeah, I think it's a big addition. Sure, maybe like a guy that's 6'10", 6'11", but there aren't many of those guys out there that just have good touch and shooting and things like that. You want a versatile guy. This is someone else who can give you another body to at least throw around in there. I think it's a nice pickup for Tennessee. It gives you at least a backup plan for a Kyle Alexander injury or something like that.
Let me make this clear. Apparently I didn't. I'm not saying either or. I'm saying either or. You get a 6'8", 250 guy that's a four-star guy, of course you get him. I'm just saying I wish they also had a 6'10", 6'11" guy sitting over there on the bench, so when you have a guy like Kyle Alexander get hurt, you're not doomed to lose to Loyola Chicago. That's what I'm saying. Not either or. All right. Next part of this, Quan Four. He was supposed to be a slasher driver coming in from Richmond, a grad transfer. Everything's a grad transfer these days. He committed to Tennessee. Then he came out and said, I'm going to Louisville. It was yesterday, and he said the reason he's going to Louisville, once he made the commitment to Tennessee, something just didn't feel right. Well, what didn't feel right was they couldn't get him into grad school at Tennessee. So now your academics are hurting you. You can't get in. You can get into Louisville, but you can't get into Tennessee. Your
so
thoughts?
You want to be top 35 is where
That's right. That's right. Your thoughts on Quan Four not being on this team, because for a couple of weeks, looked like he was going to be there, and then this grad school thing got in the way. Then the college got in the way.
Yeah. I like the idea of taking a grad transfer, an experienced guard, but I don't think it's as critical as it was last year when they took James Daniel, because last year you had Josh Bone, Lamonte Turner, and those were all really young guys. They've got, Josh Bone, Lamonte Turner, Jordan Bowden, all those guys have got more under their belts now, so I don't think maybe you need that, older guy, but still, he would have been a nice.
When I read about him, I was kind of excited about him coming to Tennessee, just based on what I read. Never saw a single dribble from him, but just based on what I read, it seemed like he would be a nice addition for Tennessee going into next year.
You can always use another creator like that, and I think he's a guy that could have helped with that. I mean, this team now is, I think the bottom line, they're going to go as far as Jordan Bone takes them in some ways. Lamonte Turner's a good scorer now, but you need Jordan Bone to take this team to the next level. Now that's even more important without another guy like Quan Four in the mix.
Okay. Josh,
yeah, I would say it has to challenge Bone to be that guy that is more consistent at getting to the basket because they needed that last year.
Very good. All right. We got 6 more topics to cover on this show. I told you it was going to be a packed show. Those include booze sales in the SEC, expanding the NCAA tournament again, Davenport, Worley, Pruitt makes a comment on Butch Jones' offense. Lots of stuff. Stick with us here on the Sports Source.